talk cars, and Chiro unfortunately is without Gav this morning because Gav is out on a very, very interesting excursion. Where on earth is the gentleman?
Mr. Williams is caddying in a golf tournament this weekend.
Really?
Also known as a chance to go and spend some time with your mates in Neisner.
Always good, always good. And then you're rocking the beard this morning. You've been wearing that for quite a while. What's
yes,
happening?
I thought I'd just push the boundaries of stubble on national television this morning.
As you do.
I've, neglected the razor.
But a lot of guys will be neglecting razors and all sorts of things now because it is Formula One season. Weekends coming up of great, hard racing, and we saw a great race last weekend.
Exactly.
In Melbourne.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The season opener. Now, the season opener is always great in Melbourne, right? It's normally a sun-drenched race, and all the teams have not seen each other for a while, and all the mates are getting back together. But this time they were greeted with a storm, second to none.
Yeah.
It was so hectic, and one of the BBC commentators made me really laugh. They crossed to him live and they said, "Ted, what is it like down there?" And he said, "Well, it was bucketing down, but now it's what you would call properly raining." So I would have hated to have been a rookie. And your first qualifying, in your first race, you're in a car that costs more than, one of NASA's shuttles, and you've got to go out in this monsoon. So a couple of guys put it in the wall during the qualifying. Even some experienced hands like Massa put his car in the wall. So it was really tricky out there, and it actually got postponed to the Sunday morning.
Yeah. Do you think it had something to do with the new compounds that they're using right now? Because those form quite a real aspect of the race, where engineers were constantly on the phones with the drivers, like you were talking about.
I think if it was slightly drier, yes, the compounds would have made more of a difference in qualifying. But also you must remember that Albert Park is a street circuit, so it's got these loads of lines of paint and everything, and then they actually painted over some paint with paint. So it's basically like a slippery slide out there. So
man.
These tires are smooth. Not the wets, obviously, they've got tread, but they catch a bit of wet paint, and it's just you're off to the scene of the accident.
And driving at that kind of speed, man alive.
I mean, even Hamilton put it into a nice slide through one of the corners in qualifying.
We'll chat Hamilton just now.
We will,
obviously, qualifying round kind of seemed to bring out the same kind of usual suspects. Sebastian Vettel coming up.
So exactly. All the punters were concerned. Okay, here we go. A Red Bull lockout. Sebastian Vettel on pole with Mark Webber behind him. But look who's third. Lewis Hamilton on his debut for Mercedes. So he was extremely chuffed with that. Felipe Massa behind him and Alonso behind him in fifth. So the two Ferraris split by Mercedes, and then the two Red Bulls in front. So that was qualifying, and that actually happened on the Sunday morning. So it was a really busy day of racing. Yeah,
and then of course at number 7, Kimi Raikkonen, but then he came through in a big way when race day came. The Ferraris went all out, taking 2 and 3 with Vettel in the front, Hamilton pushing at 4th. And then what did you make of his ride? Because I was pretty hopeful that he would take it through all the way to the end, especially after adapting a kind of his own new strategy going into the race.
Yeah, so I mean the race was extremely interesting. I mean we even had a Force India in front for a bit. So Adrian Sutil, his first race back after punching the CEO of the Lotus sponsor in the face in a Shanghai nightclub.
It's a perfect place to do it when no one can see it.
No, apparently he deserved it. So he actually got a criminal record, unfortunately. But he's back in Formula One. So he had a really good race for a little bit. But then a little bit of rain came down, and then everyone had to dive into the pits. Like you were saying, no one's used to the compounds yet. So a bit of a lottery out there on the tires, and all the engineers are going on to their drivers over the radio saying, "Go to plan B, go to plan B." Now drivers hate that. Drivers like plan A. We're going to do this, we're going to stop twice, then we're going to finish the race. So everyone had to adjust their strategies, and basically by the halfway mark, Raikkonen was in front through all the stops, and that's where he pretty much stayed. No one could really touch him from that, and he actually said on the podium, he was like, it was quite easy.
Oh my gosh, listen, do you think experience contributed quite a lot? Because I mean, he's one of your more experienced campaigns when it comes to F1.
Look, Raikkonen is probably one of the most professional drivers ever that the sport's ever seen. I mean, he finished every single lap of the 2012 season, and now he's finished every lap of the 2013 season so far. Even though he only had one. But I mean, that's just like shows you the class of driver he is. He doesn't get involved in accidents. He doesn't cause problems. He keeps it calm when he needs to. He pushes when he needs to. And we've actually got a picture of him, which I've brought in for you. Now, this is a rare thing. If you don't know Kimi Raikkonen, right, hates media, hates photographs, hates having to to talk about his sponsors and all the rest of it.
Especially
and
looking
I've
like
got
he's
a photo of him.
guy.
Yeah, I've got a photo of him. This one you're seeing now is laughing. And this one, he's smiling. Look at that smile. That is a huge Finnish smile.
Oh.
That is like seeing a leprechaun on a unicorn riding through the grounds of Hogwarts. That is how rare that photo is.
Beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. Well, congratulations for him and his team on that victory. But what does this say to you about this season? I mean, the first race, it could not have been more wishy-washy. Excuse the pun.
Yeah, well, exactly. The rain in Australia will do that. But I think we're in for a cracker of a season. This is the last year of the current rule book. Next year is V6 turbos, so this is the last year of the V8s, which makes me a bit sad, but I've heard that the V6 turbos sound incredible, so that's going to be okay. And they're going to be just as fast, so that's fine. But last year of the V8s, the teams have had a long time to engineer these cars to the current rules. So the cars are very, very close. We've got 5 world champions on the grid, which is really cool. We had 6 last year with Michael Schumacher. And of course, we have some very interesting movements. We've got Perez over at McLaren now. We've got Hamilton over at Mercedes.
Good move for him, you think?
Yeah, he had a really good debut. I mean, he put it on 3rd in the qualifying. Yeah. There's a picture of him looking very suave in his new overalls. Look at that, chuffed to bits.
Oh, check that out.
That's what £100 million looks like.
Wow. And he said in an interview he kind of likes the team more. They allow him to be himself a lot more, not really that restrictive. You know, his tattoos, just him being a person. Well, his personality, he's allowed to let that go.
So Mercedes GP team has the might of Mercedes behind them and Petronas, and that's pretty much their sponsors. He's got a lot more free time. McLaren has a lot of sponsors, so basically he spends his entire life doing whiskey adverts and cell phone adverts and watch adverts. He's like, I'm a racing driver, I just want to go race. So yeah, he's really happy to be at Mercedes.
So Christy, lastly, race times for this weekend.
Okay, so it's already kind of started. First practice was this morning at 4 a.m. Practice 2 is at 8, which is in a few minutes, I think. Tomorrow will be practice 3, Saturday 7 a.m. Qualifying is on Saturday as well at 10 a.m. and then the race is at a reasonable hour of 10 a.m.
So we can all tune in and watch. Dude, thank you very, very much. Appreciate it. We could talk all day about this, but unfortunately we only have about this time. And speaking of time, on Saturday, Earth Hour, you're going to be switching everything off?
Yes, I'll turn off my engine for a while.
How about we encourage you to turn your lights off? Leanne, tell us what.
With a range of quality products guaranteed nationally, you'll always find there's so much more to Midas.